I know how challenging your lives and your businesses are because I spent a bunch of time in them. And I'm really thrilled to be here. I'm glad it's not snowing. I'm glad I'm not bankrupt. And I'm really glad it's Friday afternoon. So let me start with opioids. And the reason I'm going to start with opioids is because it's something I've been spending a lot of time working on and talking about since the election. The stuff that really stuck with me was 66% of everybody who got an inpatient admission to a hospital got an opioid prescription. 18% of those were still on it a year later. 80% of the people who end up addicted to heroin started on pain medication, and for the vast majority of them, they started on a prescription that was handed to them legally and lawfully by a trusted medical provider. I really do believe that you have the ability to influence the way carriers and the way plan design and the way healthcare organizations think about this stuff, and I would urge you to do so, because I promise you, if you put 20 people in your company, and I don't care how big your company is, or where it's located, or how cool you think all the people are that work for your company, if you put 20 people from your company in a room, I guarantee you there is at least one person there who has a direct family connection to this problem. I mean, we lost 1,500 people in Massachusetts last year to an opioid overdose. But if it hadn't been for Narcan, that number would have been more like 5,000 or 6,000. And I would urge all of you to make this part of the way you think about the messaging and the work that you do every day with the folks that you work with. The two other issues I wanted to talk about briefly. One is how important it was for us to fix the health connector after we took office. And we had a very successful, very quiet open enrollment after 2 years of just craziness that had existed before. And I think at this point we're on track to be able to catch up to where the rest of the country has gotten with respect to its connector infrastructure. And I feel quite confident that a lot of the pain and the agony that was associated with that particular initiative, once the federal law was laid on top of the mass law, is behind us. The final thing I'll say is, I think one of the most interesting elements of healthcare delivery going forward is sort of this weird stew between wearable devices, wireless technology, digital medical records, and big data. And I could see us getting to the point in the not too distant future where provider organizations are going to be able to tell when somebody is normal but trending negative with respect to an illness. And they'll be able to do it in fairly real time. There are a lot of people who are starting to use very remote data collection capabilities to measure and monitor what's going on in real time with people who are dealing with significant illnesses. And I think the impact that could have on the way not just healthcare performs, but how we think about managing chronic conditions could be enormously positive. And it's one of the most interesting, and I think potentially most positive developments I've seen in the whole digitization of information and the development of wireless technology. Thank you.